Growing up in Norco, I was always around horses. Everybody had a backyard horse. And so when I learned about hippotherapy, I thought that I have to do this. It combines my two greatest loves, horses and helping kids. And on top of that, it's highly research-based. And so Leaps and Bounds was born. We started with our own horse in our own backyard with my husband as the handler after our regular jobs and tried to figure it out. And what we learned is, well, it's expensive. It costs more than 3 times the amount that insurance is going to pay for a physical therapy session. And so the nonprofit was born. Friends of Leaps and Bounds was born, and that's where the nonprofit steps in to cover that difference. I met Jenna when she was 18 months old and worked with her for about 6 years through a county program. About that time I left and I started Leaps and Bounds and reconnected with Jenna about 2 years later. Jenna came and was one of my first patients here at Leaps and Bounds, and especially utilizing the hippotherapy.
I remember not liking it at first. I mean, obviously when I was a little kid, Cassie told me I screamed a lot. I don't remember, but I can imagine I wasn't very helpful. I think as I grew older, I liked it. And obviously the therapists really helped with that because they were so personable. They're just the perfect mix of fun, but also you knew that you were working hard.
Our biggest wish is that we discharge patients, that they don't need therapy for the rest of their life. So we got Jenna as strong as she felt she could be at the time, so she was discharged from physical therapy. And to me, there's nothing more powerful than watching somebody grow into this 20-year-old that is doing everything that she wants to do and that her physical limitations aren't stopping her.
So I'm in college now. I'm studying business administration to become an accountant, working as an essay reviewer at the moment. And as for, physically, I am doing okay and walking around the neighborhood, and I'm getting good at it, I think.
To walk around this ranch and have a conversation with her and hear about her life and the things that she's doing that a lot of people who don't have her physical limitations aren't even doing is a pretty big win. So many people think that we're teaching the kids to ride a horse, and that's exactly not what hippotherapy is. When you're sitting on top of a horse, your pelvis has the exact same gait mechanics as if you were walking normally yourself. So for a person who doesn't walk with normal mechanics, your pelvis, your trunk, your body gets to experience what that normal mechanics is like. In addition to that, there's 3,000 balance challenges in just 30 minutes, and that's because of the number of footfalls per second that a horse has. So imagine doing 3,000 of any exercise in 30 minutes, a bicep curl, a push-up. You probably couldn't do that. And that's a principle called motor learning. It's intense, so that intensity helps make it very effective. When Alana first came to Leap, she was a 4-year-old that was faced with potentially needing a permanent feeding tube because she was not eating enough. She could use 1 or 2 words at a time when most 4-year-olds are having conversations with their family.
My daughter is Ilana. She's 5 years old, and she has a diagnosis of KCNA2, which is a very rare gene mutation, which causes her to have epilepsy and autism and low muscle tone.
To see her now not needing that feeding tube and having conversations with people just 2 years later is a gift that just keeps us all going.
Just knowing that I can bring my younger daughter here and I don't have to make sure that I always have childcare for her, that was, a huge relief. We've just been so happy here. Everybody here is so friendly.
Everything here at Leaps has evolved from a need. Somebody coming to us and saying, look, I need your help. And to have staff and volunteers and donors jump on board and say, yes, we're gonna make that happen for that person.
It just happened that the more we looked at the program and the more we watched Steve and what they were doing with him, we started to realize that he's really getting physical therapy. So it's a good way for him to get exercise and to not have to take him to a gym or that type of thing, because he's getting far more out of this.
As soon as he hits the ranch, he lights up that ranch. Just his smile is absolutely amazing, and you can't have a bad day when you're with him.
before I was offered the opportunity of the horse, I asked. And they were like, oh, I don't think that young. Maybe when he's 3. I'm like, he just turned 2. I was just waiting for him to come out of the session and say, hey, we were considering offering him hypotherapy. I don't know how you feel about it. I'm like, of course, what do I have to do? Being that the hypotherapy offers him extra workout for his core and also can help with speech. And I was like, this is genius. Like, I want him to be riding the horse.
I have a lot of hope for Neo and how quickly he'll achieve his motor milestones and how long he'll keep them well into adulthood because we've got him in here so early. It's hard to keep a 2-year-old engaged and active and doing 3,000 challenges of anything, but when he's on that horse, we're able to get it done, and I don't know any other tool that could do that for a 2-year-old.
When we started coming to leaps and bounds, he wasn't even sitting down. So from there, these people worked their magic. This guy started sitting. Next thing I see him walking. Now he's running, jumping, and riding a horse. That was just impressive. In a few months, he has just blown our minds.
Leaps and Bounds has grown to be the largest practice in the entire country. We can't serve that many people without the support of the nonprofit. How did we get there? People ask me that all of the time. And it's people. It's the people who have said, I'll help you. I will donate. I will support. I will give. That is the only way that we've been able to serve so many kids. It was really easy for me when I was the one doing the therapy, when my hands were on that child, to see the difference. But now what I get to see is 40 other therapists doing that exponentially more than I ever could on my own. And to be stopped in the parking lot by a mom who just says thank you makes me feel like I'm doing good. More and more people are being diagnosed with disabilities each and every day, and services and resources are shrinking. So this is a big problem. I hope that we help to inspire more people to go out and serve the community. My hope for the future of LEAPS is that we have the resources to keep going, to meet the need, the ever-growing, increasing demand of need. We hope that people have a place to call home and that it's well into the future.